Hey, welcome to AI with Fizzy. Now, let's talk football and tech. And that's probably two industries that we just didn't foresee happening. And now it's ever growing much more important. Tech is literally delving into football. Not just football, but sports in general. Now, how is technology changing football? Well, think of it as how is tech going to make us fans enjoy the game a little bit more further? Now the question becomes, is tech taking over football? And is the football losing its ethos, the fundamentals? Are we now going to be so fixated on the AI and the fan engagement and the reality that it shows us rather than the football games? We'll be waking up on the weekend, on the morning, getting ready, stuck in and ready for the game. Well, that may change because there's a 5-year contract between Microsoft Copilot and the Football Premier League. And this is not only going to boost how we envision the game, but it's also going to provide some really critical analysis in terms of every single football club, how they're performing, and how fans can actually get engaged and in real time be a part of the game. So the question does become true. Are we losing the hard-earned game through tech? Or is tech going to make us fall in love with the game even more? Let's check out. Here's the headline. The Premier League and Microsoft have signed a 5-year partnership. The tech giant is bringing its AI Copilot technology on Microsoft Azure straight into the heart of football. The idea? Well, simple really. Give fans instant access to match stats, club facts, and even dive back into decades of football history, all through AI tools that feel conversationally and personalized. Imagine asking, when was the last time Arsenal came back from 2 goals down at Old Trafford? And instantly getting the answer, complete with video highlights. Okay, first of all, wow. Let's talk about this a bit more. So we're basically saying that Microsoft Copilot, AI, has an agreement with Football Federation, the Premier League teams, to not only bring excitement in a way of AI, but get more fans engaged with the game, not only in present day, but also historically. So we're now talking about being able to ask the Copilot questions that, similar to what I just read, Arsenal, when's the last time they came back from a 2-goal down at Old Trafford? Not only would it give you the match stats and information in real time, it also give you the video highlights of that game. Now that's a game changer, especially for a football fan like myself, that sometimes I do ponder myself and figure out, when was the last time we went to this particular ground and won? When was the last time we scored from a free kick? When was the last time we scored from a corner kick? When was the last time a penalty was an actual penalty? When was the last time the handball change was affected without it being a handball? So these are questions that we can ask as everyday fans, and the Copilot will give us the real-time answers and give us some much needed statistics and analysis on top of that with video highlights of certain games. Now this is probably a break way forward into football, and to Microsoft's point, it will be more of ensuring that the fans stay in touch with the game. Now, there's a bit of reservations here, because are we doing this from a fan's perspective, or are we just trying to push more AI into the eyes of people? And do we necessarily need this particular tool to do what it's meant to do in terms of giving video highlights and match statistics? Does it keep us away from the game? Does it keep us away from that full 90 minutes, that adrenaline, that drive, the atmosphere? Does that go away? Well, part of me says yes, a part of me says no. But let's continue to delve into this partnership. Okay, so what does this mean actually for the fans? Well, on the fan side, this is massive. Instead of scrolling through endless apps, you'll be able to interact with an AI like football buddy. Think of it as like your own PA just for football. You can talk about stats, trivia, predictions, all at your fingertips. Or even through your voice. Think of it as having your own personal football analyst, as well as an assistant, available 24/7. And with 30 plus seasons of data integrated, the storytelling potential is next level. This isn't just about numbers, it's about reliving football's greatest moments in real time. Well, let's talk about it a bit more. So, what's basically saying that we've got 30 plus years of historical data, historical video footage that fans can get at any given time. Now, to me, that's remarkable. I think that changes how we used to think of the game to what we think of the game now. We can even compare football tackles, we can compare different types of goals, we can compare different stats and data from real time to the past. Imagine going back and telling Copilot, hey, run me through the video highlights of the United Arsenal game where United missed the penalty, Van Nistelrooy missed the penalty. Like, give me the build up, and AI will be able to give you the video footage of that build up. This is remarkable what Microsoft have literally conundrum to themselves and pretty much pushed to Premier League teams to say, we're here to make your fans more engaged with the game, not just in the present, but also in the past. Because let's tell the truth, there were some really remarkable games in the past that may have gone over our minds, and to relive those moments can bring the excitement back for certain fans and certain clubs. And let's talk about the trivia stuff, and let's talk about being your own personal buddy. I believe this is one of the greatest things that can ever come out of the game, because in my humble opinion, I feel as if there's times where we want to find the answers and there's so much different sources that it's kind of hard to kind of depict what is the correct source. Well, if you've got a Copilot with you that is there in real time to give you the answers in real time, it saves you from scrolling. It saves you from trying to figure out which is the source of truth because it comes in real time. It's also backed by millions upon millions, billions of data, historically and presently. That's always feeding the model latest of data. So yeah, in my opinion, I think this is going to be really great for fans. But I always have the caveat. Are we losing the ethos of the game? Let's take some more in. Let's talk about why Microsoft. Now you might be wondering, why Microsoft? Well, Microsoft's Azure cloud is one of the most powerful in the world. And its AI Copilot has already been integrated into Office, Teams, and even GitHub. The Premier League wants the same AI muscle to make fan engagement smoother, faster, and more interactive. In short, Microsoft gets football's global stage, and the Premier League gets cutting-edge AI. So, what's the risk, and what are the current questions that's been floated around? Well, here's the big question, and it's a bit weird, Rail. Is this all upside? AI brings speed and personalization, but there are concerns too. Will fans become too reliant on AI instead of developing their own knowledge? Could it lead to misinformation or bias in how stats and history are presented? And then there's privacy. How much personal fan data will be collected to personalize the experience? The Premier League has over 1.5 billion fans globally. That's a lot of data. And this kind of goes along to my risks, which is more on the ethics side of things. So if you know by now, AIwithFizzy, I am a AI ethics and strategy consultant in sports. I also deal with implementation, so I build models and machine learning models for sports organizations, football teams, etc. But also part of my consultancy is to talk about the ethical side of things. And this was a really big one for me. There's 1.5 billion global fans that tune into the Premier League. That's astronomical amount of data. And when we talk about data, we can't talk about data without talking about the big P, privacy. Now, privacy concerns have for the past few years, has been an ongoing concern. It's been deliberated in courts, deliberated in parliament, on how AI collects fans' data, how it collects people's data, and how the AI treats the data. Now, this is something that Microsoft needs to really get 100% nailed on. Because when you have so much data, so much things can go wrong. We could talk about leaks, we could talk about misinformation, we could talk about improper use of football fans' data. And not to say the AI model can push something to a football fan that could go against their religion, could go against their use and things like that. And again, this is so new, so it's hard to regulate, but we have to think of it from an ethical point of view. There's just so much data that intrinsically is going to be cast upon, that we need to really ensure that privacy is the number one thing we think about. And also think about ethics. Are we ensuring that it's going to be better for humans or for people that love football? Or is it going to make it worse? Is it going to give them the insights, the joy and the thrill of the football game, or make them lose interest of the football game? Let's be honest. Since the AI revolution has blown up, a lot of people are using their time in ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini, and they are literally losing the actual intrinsic knowledge. So the question then becomes, are we going to spend more of our time on Microsoft's Copilot AI, or are we still going to be in love with the game? Talk about the bigger picture. This partnership isn't just about football. It's about the future of sports engagement worldwide. If it works in the Premier League, you can bet the NBA, NFL, and even Olympics will follow suit. We're talking about AI, not just enhancing how we watch sport, but potentially changing how we connect to it emotionally. And that's a huge cultural shift. Okay, so here's the big one for you. Do you think AI will benefit the game, or do you think it will just turn it to more data-driven and kind of lose its soul? Well, and hey, if you enjoyed the breakdown of today's video, please like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment down below. I'm curious to hear your thoughts and your feelings on this. One thing's for sure, the AI revolution in football isn't happening. It's already here. Peace.